Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and here I am playing Hardline as you can see once again. And I downloaded the entire game just to see what the new Robbery DLC is all about, and to be completely honest here, I'm left dazed and confused from what I'm looking at in the synthic stats of the new guns and just how I'm using them in the game. Now, side note here, I usually do this cool, awesome looking overlay in After Effects where I, put all the gun stats and do animate the whole thing. But today I'm not gonna be able to do this for all the, in 11 individual guns or however many there are in this DLC because there are tons. Simply because this animation, as I render in lossless with alpha channel, is just way too big, coming to several gigs a pop, and right now I'm just searching for hard drive space. Literally, it's in the red right now. All of them are all three are hurting because I have pretty much hundreds of leftover recordings from mostly from the Black Ops 3 beta, which I recorded nearly all rounds in that I played, just to have some more footage for the future if I ever want to talk about something nonchalantly and use the gameplay as my background footage. But anyway, here we go. Now with this DLC we get 4 new maps, as with all DLCs I suppose nowadays, and we also get an unprecedented buttload of guns. And by the way, a buttload is actually a unit of measurement for anyone not in the know. It's equal to 63 US gallons. So, literally buckets and buckets of guns. Now, the maps are pretty sweet themselves. Big ups to Visceral for this one. The museum map, for one, looks amazing, and I'm sure you saw from other bigger channels on YouTube, but the other maps look pretty good too, and but obviously finding a DLC server on the PC platform is going to be, well, easier said than done, because as you all know, the PC community is mostly dead, and this DLC unfortunately won't revive Hardline, I feel. And look, I mean, I don't have anything against the game other than some pretty bad gun balancing, sloppy collision models, and low time to kill. The game is fun if nothing else, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing Blood Money. But questionable EA decisions, lack of character for a full standalone game, and bad balancing of all, contributed, guns contributed to the game's downfall, I think. And add to that pretty bad timing of release. I mean, right now Battlefield 4 is coming back in a big way, and not only is there tons of free content, as well as, patching and balancing going on to make the game halfway decent to play, there's also sales, Why, I saw Battlefield 4 in Premium Edition the other day on Origin for $20, and that's less than just the DLCs alone were at release, so, the game shows no signs of stopping and just keeps getting smoother. Now with DICE testing the higher tick rate servers on PC, and I mean, kudos to DICE LA and David Serland in particular, although other devs aren't to be overlooked. So, big ups to them. And I understand Visceral too, they included miniguns in this DLC, much more than usual, most of them for free, in an effort to attract new players, and because they were likely strapped for time, all they did was port or copy-paste more or less these guns from Battlefield 4 with some, tiny changes, like the FAMAS, the F2000, the MP7, the RPK, the FN57 pistol, the Scorpion. That's just off the top of my head right now. I don't remember if they ported anything else. Unfortunately, though, Visceral seems to not know how to balance weapons correctly in an FPS game, this being their first major FPS game, and unfortunately, they are not listening to the community much either when they're saying this gun balancing is bad, and they continue to not be patching it and making the same mistake over and over, and they completely fucked up the situation. I mean, I was right when I said I didn't feel the FAMAS was at 1,000 RPM from the video a while ago by Danny on PC. When I look at the stats on simtic.com, the FAMAS and the F2000 side by side, they're actually, I think they got them backwards. The damned FAMAS has a lower rate of fire than the F2000, and I'm not sure what they were smoking when they were balancing this, because with the smaller magazine of the FAMAS and the worse stats in every way, there's just no reason to use it over the F2000. And oh, the F2000 also has a much smaller spread increase per shot, and hell, this is bad. People were ramming Visceral when they screwed up the L86 spread increase per shot, but man, they keep making the same mistakes over and over, and the L86 spread increase per shot is 0.9. That's nearly 1. And just for shits and giggles, the spread increase per shot of the SR338 in Battlefield 4 before the patch, when it was basically shooting in all directions at once, was only 0.6. And you remember it couldn't hit the ground in 3 tries then, and it wasn't even fixed in the latest patch in Hardline, which is, ridiculous. See, the problem is that they're in it, I think, just to sell the DLCs, and they pack, those extra content things with shiny extras like guns or bling, like the gun camo, bench, so people can basically paint their guns purple. I mean, no one gives a shit about gun balancing, much less on consoles where they have some sort of, auto aiming or assist or things like that. So, needless to say, you can see why the PC crowd is leaving the game, and walking the other way pretty much. But, well, we have the aforementioned FAMAS, obviously, as I said, the F2000 in this DLC, the MP7, the M1 carbine, and not the Garand rifle that everyone wanted, unfortunately, which is a good thing, I think, since this carbine seems to be shooting wadded up tissues by the looks of it. The damage drop-off is just super harsh on this thing, as well as the first shot multiplier, which acts on every shot. That since this is a semi-auto weapon, that's for all classes. And in the game where you can get dead inside of a single frame, I just think this won't do. They also added the RPK to, get this, the assault class. Weird how that goes, because it has a 50 round drum magazine, which but man, that recoil, it's 0.7 per shot, and this thing will basically point straight up towards the ceiling on its second shot for most people. And also surprisingly, its first shot multiplier is just as big as the other guys, even bigger maybe. And I'm really starting to wonder what the hell is going on at Visceral 4 when they come up with these gun stats. I mean, they just picking numbers out of a hat at random, or are decimal points too hard? Well, whatever. We also get a completely new assault rifle called the MDC, and it's called that in the game, and I actually mistook it for the Israeli Tavor assault rifle at first glance, but the guys at Simtic, thanks to them by the way, explained to me that it's actually the MSBS, a Polish assault rifle. And don't laugh, these exist. It's actually a really cool future weapons platform, not unlike the XM8, I suppose, only for the Polish army. The bullpup variant presented in the game kind of looks like the Israeli Tavor assault rifle, as I said, but a classic layout also exists in real life, looking somewhat like the Scar H, I suppose. Now, in the game, it seems to fire the 7.62mm cartridge, giving it quite the damage model, which fits in the pay for better DLC guns mentality, which DICE has been accused of when they released the Deagle a while ago, if you remember. Uh, Basically, some people say that the 7.62 isn't available in real life because the this assault rifle actually comes out with the 5.56 variant, but a 7.62 model is actually proposed for the future, which I'm not sure, maybe this is what Visceral was going for. But basically, it's in the game, it's the AKM's damage model, which is brutal, if you remember, with a higher rate of fire. Which one am I going to pick? Tough choice, that one. I'm gonna let you guys decide. Let me know in a comment below. Cast your vote. Step right up and cast your vote. AKM or MDC. We also get the Scorpion for the mechanic class, and this comes with a very sharp and close range damage drop off in and a mind-boggling, by the way, 1150 RPM rate of fire. Its first shot multiplier is a very healthy 2.5, and its recoil will be quite harsh, stacking up one on top of another at 1150 times a minute. At 30 rounds in a magazine, it will run out only after all of 1.5 seconds of trigger time. Now, we also get the semi-auto sniper rifle, the M82, a 416 variant. Funnily enough, another testament to the joke that is the gun balancing in this game. The damage starts at 90, meaning you won't be able to one-shot anyone to the chest even at close range. And with an unbelievable per-shot recoil of 2.5, which might be a record for this game, a hilarious one, it also has a 1.5 first shot multiplier. So, multiply 2.5 by 1.5, which to me is a bit ridiculous. We also get the FN57 pistol, ported directly from Battlefield 4, with an interesting or weird, depending on how you look at it, damage model. It starts out at one of the lowest, doing a maximum of only 25 at 10 meters, but its ending damage goes out all the way to 60 meters, which no one other sidearm does in the game. It does in Battlefield 4 though. The gun is as close to a copy-paste job as you're gonna get stat-wise. We also get the throwing knives in the grenade slot in this DLC, but I think this is just a ridiculous gimmick. I mean, they are a one-shot kill, but they wind up ridiculously slow, and so unless you're walking around with your knives at the ready, in which case you're an idiot. And I mean, again, we come back to the game's extremely low time to kill. You're just not going to get any throwing knife kills unless you surprise a completely oblivious prone Bambi sniper and, knife him in the ass. So, what do you say, people? Yay or nay Hardline Robbery DLC? And thanks for watching. Please rate and share these videos. That helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.